For one, three. Listen, I remember back when I was hustling, I would break night, dodging them vultures out there swimming with some great whites. People was telling me to slow up, dog, you ain't right, but I was thinking pedal to the metal, fuck them brake lights. You only got one life to live, I had to get it fast. I've been a man since I was young, I had the shitty past. I felt like all I had was this music shit. The only thing left for me to do is just get this cash. I used to tell myself one day I'ma get out this bitch. My fucking family thought I would never amount to shit. I felt like their faith was gone before I was grown. And even when I was in alone, I was still.
What?
You're live.
Alright, motherfuckers, this is Inappropreality episode 61.
61, man.
Shout out our sponsors. I was about to say shout out KJ. This nigga right here.
Hey.
Man, shout out Haiku. Got an event coming up. Look out for that. We'll be getting out details for that soon. Should be dropping some more gear soon. Hit up Isaiah for anything. Doing over there, Terry's Tees.
That boy's cooking. He making.
I know he is. Jerseys, man, he's going in right now. So fucking hit him up. He's working, going in. We got new wristbands coming soon, right?
Word, definitely. Big shout out Isaiah. I know.
What?
Who looking at the big
What? Can we get an asterisk?
Yo, shout out my SYF Tigers. You wait, man. 2-0 right
Can I get
now.
another cup, please?
Shout out to
Thank you.
the 10U coaches as well. White and Jeans. They're undefeated 2-0 as well. We got a couple home games coming up. Actually, we got a home game this weekend at Central. So anybody want to see some youth action? Shit's pretty cool, dumb fun, entertaining is how to watch. Starts at 1 o'clock at Central. Pull up, it's free. You know what I mean? Come see me coach my little kids to win.
Word. Alright, this week we have on KJ. Host of Shallow Depths, artist. I mean, fuck, we do a lot, man.
Nah.
Yeah,
I be chilling, man.
well known, man.
One of two hosts of Shallow Depths, you know.
Who's the other host?
My homegirl, Kayla. You know, it's the middle of the week. She wasn't able to make it today. But, you know, that's my homie. She's actually going to be watching, you know. She shouted y'all out. She got mad love for the show, too.
Word.
But, yeah, as far as the artist thing, that's like kind of like a previous life.
For real, you done?
Nah, not done. I just do it sporadically. It's completely hobby now. Like I don't put. I know what it takes to put in it, so I know the difference.
Why?
So I know I'm chilling. Huh?
Why?
It's time, age. You know, you can lose love for certain things if you don't do it the right way.
Damn, that's deep right there.
I didn't know it was like that. That's crazy. You just dropped a project not too long ago, right? Was it?
Nah,
I seen some shit.
just
what
one song.
was it? What was it? I seen that shit. What's that shit?
You know,
Chicken and biscuits. That shit is fire. But
just
Dear Winter, when did that come up?
Might have been either 8, was it 17? If not 16.
I looked on the shit, said 2019.
Oh nah, that's just
iTunes.
That's because that's when I uploaded onto there.
Word. That's why I
But,
thought you should drop that shit earlier this year or something.
Nah, I mean it still works, but you know,
That shit is fire,
whenever somebody comes in contact with it, it's new to them.
It is for real. It's dope. I fucked with it.
Appreciate it.
Man, don't stop.
Sure. Nah, it's not stopping.
Music.
I mean, you gotta keep it pure.
That's a spring for the legend right there.
For
Nah,
real,
not
man.
at all.
You lying, yo. You lying. Everybody knows.
That's a legend.
For real.
Nah, I wouldn't say that much. You know, I appreciate the compliments though.
For real, for real.
It's real shit. Beyond, you know what I mean, what you did definitely as a solo artist. A lot of music, you definitely the one.
Shout out to the guys.
The one.
I mean, like I feel like a lot of people get they shot. You know what I mean? It's just the follow through of the shot that's tough. At this point, I feel like a lot of talented people get like really close, but then it's like the follow through is tough because like the support is low.
Yeah.
So we had Josh on, and he was talking about like he lost his job in the midst of.
No, 100%. Yeah, that's what happened.
I was
Like
really
we was
hungry for that shit.
we was on the same car. We went. We did as good as you can do while losing, and then drove home and got more losses off of it.
That shit is insane. Yeah, that shit is wild. That story is crazy. Y'all was doing your thing. We was fucking out of the city going crazy.
Going crazy.
For a second.
Going crazy.
I ain't never stopped going crazy, brother.
I appreciate it though. You know what I mean?
I met Shim with Cam a couple of months, and I was saying the same shit to him. You know what I mean? Like I heard of Mulatto before I was in tune with all the y'all was doing separately. You know what I mean? And then when I got in tune with what everybody was doing separately, it was like, hey, you like the whole of Springfield. Like, no cap, brother. I'm rap.
I appreciate it.
I
No, I know. I
no
know.
cap. You know what I'm saying? You like the whole of Springfield with your wordplay and shit.
I appreciate it, man.
Sham is like, I don't even know. That nigga's like Party Next Door 10.0. You know what I'm saying?
He remind me of a few people I want.
It's
Like,
real
he remind me
shit.
of Party. He remind me of
That
Bryson
motherfucker
Tiller.
go ham. That
And he
motherfucker
remind me of
Kanye sometimes.
and he remind me of man, who else was I gonna say? Oh, and Ty Dolla $ign. Just because he can actually play and like
And Rome, shit. Even though Rome was from Connecticut, brother.
Yeah,
That motherfucker probably the most powerful singer.
he could sing his ass
Most
off.
powerful singer.
It's insane.
I mean, remember we had J Dill on a couple weeks and he was singing.
Oh, that's his
J
man,
Dill
of
was
course.
coming off a rope, bro.
Of course.
Bro,
That's where we all remember.
we know holding on word for word. Your verse, his shit.
That's
Like,
crazy.
we know holding on word for word. That's in my playlist.
That's humble. That's humbling.
That might go on one of my my wedding playlists.
Oh man, that's humbling like a mother. Man. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, bro.
I mean,
These niggas, they playing all the instruments, rapping,
I know.
singing, everything.
What do you play? You playing instruments?
I was rhyme. But I mean, I think like some of that, at least, you know, even if it didn't go the way that I say I wanted to go, it's good to hear stuff like that because it makes you know that you didn't waste your time.
Word.
Because the people that it did get to, it did what it was supposed to do.
Word. That shit is dope. Damn, you want to get on this podcast? How often you guys drop episodes?
Our intended goal is once a week. I mean, as you all know, like with podcasts getting off the ground, like life happens. So you know, anything could happen with us not being the richest people in the world. You could have a technical difficulty. You could have oh shit, one person got to work and we can't do it today. You could have a lot of things happen. So, you know, the goal is once a week. Try to drop it every weekend. But we record every Thursday.
Word. How you come up with the name?
Oh, actually, it came from a freestyle.
Word.
Yeah, it was on I actually freestyled over the Biggie Dead Wrong beat. And I said like life is the water, I'm navigating the shallow depths. I said it a minute ago. But then like I was like, oh, that kinda sticks out, So then they kept like when I was coming up with podcast names, like it kept coming back. So I was like, you know, we about to do that. Then we just put like the subtitle on it to be like the podcast where you never know what we care about. So that like we could talk about something shallow and like go into it deeply. And then you could talk about something that's deep and not talk about it much. So when you go into like the politics, you be like, I don't want to get into that much. We just make a shallow take on it and be like, fuck Trump, get out of here. Keep it moving, you know what I mean?
Is that what you guys usually talk about?
We talk about a little bit of everything. I mean, the fact that we play a lot off of the guy-girl dynamic and actually get into like some relationship shit. Just so you know, the fact that she'll draw some guys in, but then she has female friends of her own. So what happens is I can give them a little bit of a man's perspective. You know, they may not, you know how it is in a relationship. You don't always be like, yo, what I really think is this. Right. So, you know, sometimes you need to hear from other people, like, actually, like, maybe he's looking at it like this. That's why if you look at, like, say, like, men are from Mars and women are from Venus or whatever that book was, like, it went crazy because everybody's on the other side curious about what the other side's thinking. So we played off of that dynamic for sure.
Right, dope. You guys have any guest hosts at all? You guys have interview anybody?
We interviewed a couple people. One thing we do regularly is we have a segment called Loyal to the Soil, and like we try to shout out like any like upstart businesses or anything like that. You know, just to make sure people know that we like support as well as, you know, we're not just seeking support. And then other than that, like I mean, like we've had people that are like in city council, people that got businesses, people that are just friends of ours. We started introducing some new segments, but we only tested one of them. It's gonna be special episodes where like it's like kind of men's only things. So like I can do what y'all do here and like talk about say like something that she may not be the most interested in. So say like if like the Jay-Z thing, like that gives us a lot of opportunity to go into the NFL. But then it's like she don't give a shit about football, so she don't want to talk about it. Right. So it's like, well, I'll just be sitting there dragging the convo along, or I just call a couple of the bros over. We do a guys only episode. Word. Vice versa. If there's something where it's like a women's only episode, it's like her group chat edition where she brings a couple girls on, and you know they could talk, and I just sit there and shut the hell up and record.
Word. That's fire.
You probably got something to say.
Yeah, but it's cool for me to mind my business. I'm a flyer.
You came up with the idea for the podcast?
Yeah, I'd say that. It was a while ago. Like that's why like I used a couple of things. Like there's like a bunch of a bunch of weird shit. Like it's like I do everything like it's raps, honestly. So it's like mad layered. But like I told you the freestyle where I came up with the title. But then I used to like the movie The Sandlot, and then they had that they had that scene where homie faked that he was drowning or whatever. So we layered the music from that when it played This Magic Moment or whatever. So we used that, but then they was talking in the back and it was like, yo, did you plan that? Of course I did. I've been playing it for years. But I only did that as a play on words because like we was talking about the podcast for a minute before it started. And then it started and it was like, finally got it. And then it was like I had my man do it because my man hit me and he was like, yo, I just want to be on the behind the scenes. He's like, I just want to record. He was like, yo, the stuff you be saying be mad funny. Like, I think you should do a podcast. And I was like, yo, that's funny you said that because we was talking about it, but we just kind of let the idea go. And I was like, fucking, I'm about to call her back because I had told her then because that's the homie. And I was like, yo, remember how we used to kick it at Bro's apartment? We'd be playing spades and drinking and we just be talking shit and we called it the round table when we took pictures on the internet. We was bullshitting on Facebook, but we always call it the round table and like it was like the angle of like the angle of the liquor. So it was like if your Heineken was right there, we put the camera right there and then take a picture of you. But it'd be like that's the round table angle. So we used to just caption it that or whatever. So when we did that, like we was always laughing and joking, like, you know, unless we had somebody in there that we didn't want to get in the camera. You know? But other than that, like we was really just having a good time. And like I told her to be here. I was like, yo, I want to bring that same energy, but I just want to record it. And she's like, whatever you say, I'm with it. And then she had the idea for the segment, cause like when I started talking to her, she introduced some topics or whatever, and she was like, yo, like, I started telling her about different podcasts. She started listening to them, finding the ones that she liked and the ones she didn't like. So, like, the first episode is totally different than all the other episodes.
When did that one drop?
I'd say probably like springtime or something like that.
Word.
Or, I'd say springtime. But, the reason that it was different is because we had no angle. And then, like, she was like, as soon as we finished recording, she was like, yeah, that was alright, but I want it to be different. And I'm like, yo, I don't care, like, I'm cool with input. So her input wasn't bad, it just gave me a bunch of parameters that I never thought about. And she wanted segments. So then it was like a new challenge. So then I'm like, oh, we gotta like keep with this theme and we gotta come up with wordplay. So like I snatched the Padres logo and put it in the logo. So I'm like, bet, so I could do that, like we can grab Padres hats, whatever, same way I do like right now. So then I'm like, oh, okay, yo, I know what I'll do. I'm like, yo, she's like, oh, talk about this and talk about that. So then, but I put the, because of shallow depths, I put the, around it, the lifeguard thing or whatever, which brings it back to the, scene from Sandlot. So I was just using the Sandlot.
It was good, yo.
I was using like the Sandlot and the lifeguard theme or whatever. And then, that's when we went to, like, okay, so since it's water or whatever, like, as soon as we start talking about topics, it's the dive in segment. After you go to the dive in, then it's loyal to the soil, but that's back to like Sandlot, soil, you know what I'm saying? So whatever. So then that's when you're loyal to where you from. So, you know, the upstart businesses shout them out. Then it's sink or swim, back to the water shit. And that's far as like we put whatever wave musically, you know, more wordplay. Then it's the bait of the week, but it's like bait, water, fishing, bait. But it bait you into a conversation, and that's the last segment.
What podcast do you listen to other than your own?
Shit. I like this one of course.
Word. Thank you.
I listen to a lot though, and like the level of fame is not what it's about. It's more about like what sounds good as far as like the conversation. Like I listen to Button, of course. I think a lot of people do. A lot of people have been telling me about Gilly and Wallow. Like I listened to it a little bit, but I haven't really gotten into it all the way.
Niggas had a podcast.
Yeah, it's just like it's relatively new. T.I. just started one. I just started listening to that one.
Yeah, I just heard it.
I listen to like a couple different fashion ones, like, you know, like I listen to too many to name, honestly. On Deck TV podcast is one of my favorites. Like Studio Flow podcast, like these are upstarts too. Like people with like, you know, I don't think they have like the big ass notoriety or they're signed or anything like that. No famous people on it, like people like us, but they got a good show and they stuck with it. Like they're hundreds of episodes in.
Word.
Yeah.
Word. That's dope. Damn, man, I was gonna ask you got any projects coming out, all that. That's not good.
I can answer that stuff.
You got
I'm sweet, like he said,
I'm on music. No. I said I'm not actively pursuing it. Cause I mean, like there's a different level. But I mean, just knowing like what I'm learning with the podcast, like people love visuals. So it's like, it's tough in this day and age to not provide a visual. Like, y'all got that, like, y'all do the visual and y'all got the audio, you know what I mean? So y'all Gucci. But, like, you know, like, that's something we got to work on with our podcast. We got to add the visual element. But even, like, just randomly putting a song out, it makes you want to support it with visuals, because it's like, damn, like, you know, to someone like yourself that's more in tune, you might be like, nah, I heard that was fire, da-da-da-da. But other people, they won't even click the button. So you gotta, like, damn, like, let me drop a little bit of money, let me grab a couple extra shifts, let me just do it like a concept video so that we can, like, get that off. So that's something in the works. You know what I mean? I dropped another freestyle after that, like, I really feel like it deserves visuals. So now here I go, I gotta do 2 videos, even though I consider myself not wanting to rap.
Right. Shit, we had the syndicate on, and they put you at the top of the list.
I mean, those are my guys, man. They might have a bias. But it's a natural bias, because, I mean, at the end of the day, we wasn't like boys first. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I like their beats. They like my music. It happened organically, and over the fact that, like, I mean, it took years. Honestly, it took years before we were even to the point where I would rhyme on that beat. Not saying they wasn't up to par or nothing, just like, I'm just that person, like, I'm not gonna force my way onto it.
Word.
Like, if it's not for me, I'd be like, yo, that's dope, but it's not for me. Like, it's still dope, it's still fire, but it's just not for me.
Keep it 8 more than 92.
All day.
You were talking about visuals. I don't know if you guys saw Ja Rule said he's supposed to be dropping, like,
John, shout out John, man.
A video
John
for all his tracks.
John sent me that shit.
All his
I
tracks.
seen him retweet that.
Y'all think y'all fucking with that? Y'all gonna watch all these videos or fuck no?
No, I'm not gonna watch.
Um,
I respect the job of watching them shits, right? Actually.
I would say it depends on my level. It depends on my available amount of time.
Do you think that's a
So,
good?
you know.
Do you think that's a good strategy, or does anybody even fucking give a fuck about
Nothing
this nigga Ja Rule?
worse than Ja Rule anyway.
Is it a good strategy, or is it a good strategy for him?
Both.
I would say, in general, it's a great strategy. supporting the audio with visuals, I feel like that's like a time. It takes a lot of time, but at the end of the day, like, that's just gonna engage the folks. But for Ja, I don't know if it changes it. Like, as far as, like, nah, I mean, because the people that fuck with him strong, like how Ja does,
Yeah, they gonna fuck
it's more good shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I fuck with a certain artist. If I fuck with Hov, I'm gonna be like, oh shit, like, Hov came out with this commemorative edition of Reasonable Doubt, and it's gonna be like the same CD all over again, but I'm gonna fuck with it because I fuck with him strong. So, that's all you do is, like, you capitalize on your existing fan base and keep making them buy in. Like, I was watching all interviews of Nip the other day, and he was talking about how he came up with the whole Proud to Pay concept, and it was basically off of that. Like, he was like, yo, if you think about video games when you go in the store, like, the game is $60. He's like, but then there's a $90 package, and it comes with a little bit more. Then there's a $150 package, and it comes with a little more. He's like, and, you know, people want to say how much, people want to show how much they love whatever brand you're a part of. So it's like, if Ja want to do that, he got enough people that give a fuck. It's a big world. He made it far. Now, I seen Ja the other day still telling 50, like, you snitched on Twitter. Like, you know, I'm like, damn, bro, like, it's 2019.
Still on that?
Like, you know what I'm saying? But you feel it. You know what I mean? Like, when you bought in like that, like you said, like, that's how you feel about Cole. So if somebody, like, I'll see people still be like, yo, but Cole went platinum, no features. And somebody somewhere is like, yo, you still care about that?
That nigga Cole's man.
But you can't. But there was a day when you said that about Ja Rule.
That's big.
Nobody gives a fuck about Ja Rule.
That's a whole fact.
There was a day. How old are you? There was a day that you said that about Ja Rule.
I never fucking
only thinks that way about Ja Rule because of 50.
Why not? Why not?
I didn't like his come up. I didn't like none of his tracks.
When?
You ain't never liked Ja Rule at all.
I never
So you
fucked
never.
with that
So
shit.
you ain't never
So
seen.
when he came out,
I play his
so when
music,
he
don't
came
get
out
it
on that
twisted.
verse on the Rush Hour soundtrack after on the whole song,
Right.
you
You ain't
wasn't
think-
like, damn, that who's this?
Nah,
and
that
then
shit
when
is
you heard
fire.
Benny Betty Beach, you wasn't like, damn, who's this? Like, it's cool. I
It's
understand
not-
what he
it's not-
became.
It's not for me. I just wasn't. For
Like,
me.
and I understand, like, and
It's
that was part of it too. I didn't really fuck with his voice.
but bro, we're old now.
I didn't.
You said you didn't fuck with what?
His voice.
Okay. But I mean, like, he laced everything with, like, he mixed it with R&B. Okay, do you not like R&B?
I love R&B.
Then, like, I mean, like, that's that's pre-Drake type shit.
Yeah, it was.
Like, mixing melody with rap. Like, you gotta give, like, I mean, like, that's like when people say, like, oh, I like Lauryn Hill or I like Missy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's of that cloth where, like, you was mixing R&B elements with the rap
I
elements.
can't argue that. It's just not.
I'm just saying, like, the same. And honestly, if you fuck with 50 as much as you're saying right now, 50 killed that nigga to become that nigga.
I know.
50 clowned his leather pants, then threw some more.
Did the same exact shit. And did the same shit.
I'm just saying, like, it's
tough.
tough.
All that shit.
Don't get me wrong, like 50's smart, and 50 used tools that we deal with in the world today. Like, he shifted the narrative. Like, he called that nigga a snitch. I mean, he called that nigga a whack ass dude, whatever, before he did anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he controlled the opinion of the public through media. Like, everybody does that every day now. But it seemed crazy then, so it just seemed like he was mad authentic.
He's the true king.
Who, 50?
Yes.
But it was more than that back then. Like, he was doing what CNN does. Like, when they make you believe one opinion. And just push it so hard that you feel like that's really the only thing that's valid. Like, but he was doing it coupled with dope music, so it was like he has to be right. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the music didn't slap, it wouldn't have got through. Like, cause the music beat out Ja, cause the music was better at the time, and it seemed more authentic. Like, you're like, nah, I'm really tough, and he's not tough, and I just got shot 10 times. 9, my fault. Let me be accurate. But then it's like, but if you think about it, bro, like, then like. And, like, that's probably the beginning of the bullshit we deal with now. Because now we call him Tekashi a snitch, right?
I suppose we took the stand today.
Exactly. But if you think about it, they was trying to bring 50's paperwork out and it was lost. Like, why is everybody not mad? Like, this is what we don't honor. But he had that much media control.
That's that shit, though. When the music, that's what you're saying. When the music fucking, that's why people still fuck with R. Kelly.
There's all kinds of shit though. Like Lies snitched.
I don't think
you still see him coming out with these motivational speeches. Fucking what's his name? Nino Brown got slapped around in his own fucking house. You still see him coming out with all these fucking. You know what I mean? So like,
I mean that's cause like I hate to say it, but like you start to find out that like niggas is like they're not really about what they're saying they're about. And I'm not saying you have to be that either. Like, you don't have to be thugging. But I mean, like, that's why to somebody, like, I think it's going to be easier for those, like Cole. You know? Like, someone that, like, stays their self in the music. It's easy. Like, you don't have to be like, oh, no, actually, like, I'm clocked out. Like, I'm not trying to be a thug right now. So please don't hold me responsible for all the shit I was saying on the track.
Right. That's why I feel like you sitting there looking like a fool.
That most artists struggle with that. Like, you know,
so it's fucking, like, 90%.
Yeah, they struggle with that situation. And that's what
I think Casanova were thinking of.
But I mean, he has
his story is crazy.
I was about to say he has a resume as far as the streets go. He has.
I feel like it's hard for him to like lead.
He just dropped a fire ass track.
Yeah, that's the opposite.
When he's in the
Casanova.
He's talking about them niggas that's pretending
But
that they're street niggas.
He finds trouble
and then
too.
when they walk into the streets, you got these real street problems because you've been talking all that street shit on them records.
I mean, but there's like a lot of identity issues with rap. You know what I mean? Because if you think about it, like Offset had to stay low. Like, I mean, it's a part of him, but he had to stay low about it until he felt like he was so fired that it was undeniable. Then all of a sudden he incorporated dance in his performance. Although, like, he was dancing in Whitney Houston's video when he was a little kid. Or you got videos of him, like, pop locking when he's in rooms like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yeah, like, you been love dance. But you was too busy making sure you showed the aesthetic of a trap dude. And, like, the aesthetic of the time that you spent in jail, like, and all this. I'm like, that's cool. But it's all part of you.
It's real shit.
You know what I mean? Like, just use it all. But you're not coming out the gate like, yo, I got background dancers. Nah. Yo, ain't nobody gonna respect them. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, you know, it's like was Bad and Bougie gonna hit if he was dancing with the girls instead of sitting at the table looking cool with all the jewelry? Nah, it wouldn't have did the same. They were like, yo, look at these clown ass motherfuckers.
Raindrop.
That ain't it. That's light. That's bopping to the beat. That's not dancing. Like when he opened that show and he did the choreography with him and started like moving and all that. Like he been wanting to do that. Like he was in Whitney Houston's video.
He want to be
good.
the next Chris Brown.
No, he did, but he just wanted to wait until he could like show both. Like I need y'all to completely buy into this. Now I can expand your mind on what a hood nigga is. But see, if you, like he couldn't give you an off-centered. He couldn't give you an off-centered version of it because you wouldn't have fucked with it. Like he had to he had to make it palatable for his listeners. As soon as they was like, oh, okay, I get it. He's like, okay, now that I'm here, let me expand your mind. It's like somebody lying to you, not lying in a bad way, but he's like, yo, all right, first dates. Everybody deal with first dates. Beginning of your dating situation, you show the best part of you so that you can get in there. And then after that, you be like, yo, there's some bullshit with me though. Like, you know, I got this other side I ain't showed you. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like that's what he did. Like he was like, yo, there's more to me though. Now he got Cardi B. What you gonna do? Cardi B. Come on.
He trying to solidify himself.
Now all of a sudden they do anything for clout and he dancing.
You said first dates. Y'all got a type. Yeah, nigga. You got a type. Y'all got a type. A type of chick y'all like. It's a bad bitches. Is
Nobody answered? Yo, it got so quiet. I
think we answered this.
I'm an equal opportunity employee.
Yeah, that's what it
You know what I'm
is.
saying? I like that.
He's not discriminating.
I don't really think I got a type.
I don't got no type.
Type.
Do you?
Preference?
Yeah.
A specific type?
Nah,
You
specific.
gotta be taller than him. Rule number one.
Specific type. I'm saying like, do you thread them? Like, could you thread them together? Like, see, me personally, I think I don't have a type. But then, like, friends of mine, they'll tell me, like, they'll be like, oh, I see similarities in that one. Like, they'll tell me, like, they see similarities if they were to go back and be like, oh, I remember when you said you talked to so-and-so. And I'd be like, they're not similar to me. But I got a terrible analogy for, like, when it comes to, like, as far as how I view women.
I want to hear it.
What? I mean, well, yeah, it's inappropriality.
I can relate to what you're saying, like in the aspect of that. 'Cause, like, there's some people, look at she kind of reminds me of the last one.
Right.
For real?
Nah.
You don't be thinking
Yeah,
It's always different.
the comment section's going on.
Nah.
A little blocked. You know what I mean? It's a little dumber down. You know?
But I think for everybody's type, like subconsciously, I think your mind works like portrait mode. So like, you know how like it blurs the background? I think everybody that's not your type, you don't see them.
Yeah, that's how
They don't even
your friend
exist.
is.
So you swear you don't have a type because everybody that fits in like the part of the focus, you see them and you fuck with them. So then you take that group and you cut that group down and then you're like, oh, like, are you funny? Are you this? Are you that?
Yo,
and you
niggas
like,
do
get
this
into
shit.
the whole thing.
I do this and I didn't realize it.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I realize it.
That's like just
No,
like
because
that.
some girls don't
It's
even
like,
exist to you.
for real. Like, get on
Like
my
they don't
face.
even look like girls to you. No disrespect.
What?
I'm saying there's some there's someone else.
They look like
No, there's someone
almost
else.
niggas.
You know what I'm saying?
Just bitches that just like
They don't exist. They don't
It's not
exist.
even shit.
They don't
And
exist.
then they say something, do something, and then they get on your radar.
Yo.
Exactly. Like yeah, like so.
Oh,
So
shit,
say
you're
everything.
smart.
Say everything was just on mute or whatever. Like all of a sudden something can cut through. I'm not saying it can't change, but I'm just saying that's like your default factor. Like when you're looking, you don't see anybody except for the people that fit in your subconscious type. Like you're like, oh, like you know, like if you was walking in the you know one of them cliche things. You was like you was in Barnes and Noble or you was in Big Y and you was in the produce section and she grabbed the orange and you grabbed the orange. Like it only works for the people that's in your view box. Outside of that, then like unless she said something like, how many times have you been completely shocked that a female was next to you because she wasn't your type? She said something mad funny and you was like, oh shit, I didn't even know you was right there.
Yo, that shit happened. Yo, that shit happened to me the other day.
Like I mean, like it's just, like I'm telling you, they be in stores and they like they don't
Shit
have
had
was
me
at a
dying.
kneecap.
Like I walked in Denny's. Yo, what? I walked into Denny's like just crazy, and she was like, "Damn, you gangbanging on breakfast?" I was like, "Where the fuck she come
like
from?"
exactly.
Yo? I was like, "Where the fuck?" Like, oh shit, that shit was dumb funny. I was like,
That's
"Cause how I walked in."
She wanted some
That's funny
vitamin
though.
D. She needed some vitamin D.
I was like, "Yo."
Then
That was a good
dumb
move though.
funny.
She made a funny move and she made a comedy
I
reference.
started dying.
Like she went for the goal. Like she was trying to shoot a
proceeded to
shot.
buy
I was like,
breakfast.
she was shooting her shots. No,
He proceeded to
Fuck
buy
no.
her breakfast.
nah,
She wasn't your type.
nah, fuck no.
Okay. See
Fuck
what happens?
no.
Because if she was your type, you would have been on her. That's my point.
Nah, her friend strong armed me for my number. Like,
oh, so you remembered it.
Yeah.
So you remembered it, right?
I got strong arm for my number.
They roll like, yo, I'm
She was mad aggressive. Yo, I asked this the other day. I was like,
They said I'll never talk. And then they hooked up.
Yo,
I
asked the other day if y'all like aggressive women. And that's what happened. Like, she was just mad aggressive. And I was just like, oh, god damn. It's like,
you didn't give her a fake number?
No, I gave her my number.
You gotta stand up tall.
She really strong-armed you.
You gotta stand up tall and tell me you want me to put down
and call it.
I was about to say, did she tell you to do that?
Better ring, nigga.
Better ring? She got aggressive?
Yeah, she was real aggressive.
So like, yo, if I call this number right now when it doesn't ring in your hand.
Yo, straight like that.
This
They
nigga
showered
showered
everything,
right?
everything, yo.
So imagine if she seen you today. I heard they said you was dripped up today. No, I'm saying because y'all comparing it. But y'all dripped up. No, I didn't say he's not fresh. But what I'm saying is y'all comparing this. Y'all saying, oh, you don't be like this. Like, y'all saying with all that. So you pulled up and Denny's like this, or you pulled up on your regular?
This was like at an after party, like on some stupid late night shit. Everybody was drunk.
Them too.
Food.
She said she gonna get dick whether you want it or not.
Mm.
You was sure filing a claim, bro.
File a claim.
Me too, bro. That's the part of the
He
Me
too.
movement.
He too.
Yeah, he too. I like that. He too. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. He too. Go file a claim, man. You know, it's acting like they don't be fucking doing too much.
Nah. Females do a lot. That's cool though. I mean, like, they do just as much as men, but they just got, like, a better control on the narrative.
Because niggas don't ever expect it. They keep that shit, let's keep that shit, like, on a low.
Why you look at me like that?
I'm not looking, I'm listening. Like,
They keep that shit on a low, like, and then they just keep they bring that shit to the grave, yo, to the
You
most
don't
part.
understand
These
how
chicks are fucking sneaky as fuck, yo.
Do you know how perfect of a crime it is? Like, honestly, like, the male ego is complicit in that bullshit. Cause you gotta think about it, like you have to be vulnerable enough to even tell your friend some bullshit happened to you. And most men will not be like, yo, this chick did da 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 da, which will contribute to the narrative that women are just as trash as us at times. But most girls, like as soon as a dude does some bullshit, they tell their friends, which contributes to the narrative.
Everywhere.
Talk.
That should be fucking whack.
Preach.
It's whack.
That shit is real. You heard him?
It is, yo.
You heard him?
It is. That shit real shit, though.
I'm not saying you're supposed to get all sappy with the
That
bros.
shit is like.
I'm just saying, I don't want you to get sappy with the bros. I don't want everybody to talk about the game. And you're
don't
like,
be.
nah, but what happened?
I don't be saying none of that shit. That's
So
not
I'm
what niggas
walking in the
talking about.
house, nigga.
Niggas never talk about the relationship.
So you trying to whole nother nigga in there.
Oh, nah.
She cooking and all that
That's tough.
shit.
That's tough to talk about.
I know.
No, I mean, that's.
I heard stories like that before. Like,
I have
nigga,
too, but a lot of them stay very quiet.
Damn, yeah, they on the low.
What can you say? Why niggas just
Like,
You're not supposed to say nothing.
Like,
but what I'm saying is like,
your face supposed to say it all. That's
you what?
oh, man.
Damn, what you? Damn, nigga.
I mean, that's high level disrespect.
That's wild. What you doing if you fucking walking on your chick?
Nope.
What you doing if you walking on your chick and she in the bed with other nigga? What you doing? What you doing?
Where
what you doing?
Where we at?
Your own house.
Like I live with her. And
Yes,
she brought
this
somebody
is
there.
your bed.
You're on camera.
You walk
right
in.
now.
You
That's
walk
cool.
in, and that's cool.
What the hell?
No, I said
no,
he said him. He said you're on camera. I said that's cool. I know where I'm at.
Word.
Like,
Say that's cool.
nah, that's
I was about to
trash.
say that
Never.
brother swinging over there.
Nah,
Yeah.
complete time.
He's
out.
just
Never.
jumping right in.
Nah,
Your
Grease up
bed,
first.
Your house. What are you doing? You walk in.
You have the
another
legal
nigga
right.
is on top. Yo,
You
go
have
in
the
the
legal
town.
right to murder their arms. People walk in your crib and shit. Both of them are
I feared
intruders.
for my life.
Wait,
Both of them are intruders.
that's what you guys say.
I feared for my
Both of them are
life.
intruders. It was
Both
dark.
of them are intruders.
It was
she
dark.
gets mail there.
It was dark.
She,
I couldn't see it was dark.
It was
so you just killed two people.
dark.
Fucking.
Hey, bro. It was
You didn't know what
dark as
they
fuck.
was doing?
By the time
I thought they were trying to steal something in the bed. I heard two shots. I keep my money between the sheets. Look, motherfucker, I thought they were trying to grab some
I
shit.
thought they were on drugs. They were naked. They
That's
probably
a
smoked
good
PCP and were super retard strong.
That's a good
Oh
one.
my god.
I don't know, honestly, like, cause I mean, like the more civilized version of myself, like I like to be like, yo, I just gotta get the fuck out of there. You know what I mean? Cause
It's
I don't
your
want to do
house.
everything y'all just talked
It's
about.
your house.
I know. I'm
You just gonna walk out like a
disagreeing with
finish?
you. That's what I'm doing.
You walk out, go down the stairs, and you continue to hear moaning. What you doing now?
Nah, I'm not.
I'm going downstairs. You try to walk out, and you continue to
I'm not talking about I'm talking about walk out prior to killing someone. Like, you want to risk everything.
It's going down.
You know what I'm saying?
They risk everything.
It's
like,
like she's no longer your girl regardless. Do you want to spend a long time in jail on top of that?
Hell no.
I'm killing these intruders.
Like, bro, she gets a light bill.
It ain't my girl.
You live with her. Like, that's your fault. Like, that's your selection process. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you should have seen beforehand that was a person that is not qualified to live with you. I'm not even saying not be your girl. She could be one of your girls. If that's the level that she deserves, that's how you treat her accordingly.
God damn.
And that's no knock to her. She could be a great person, but she deserves to be treated on this level.
Great person.
There's not. You telling me there's not great single women that are just.
There's
sleeping
not a great
around?
person on the planet that'll
She is
fucking
a
bring another
wonderful
person in
person
the
that
house to
No,
fuck in that.
she's
in
not
their
a great
bed.
person.
Fuck no.
That's what I'm saying. She's not a great person to you. If you split a house with her. She's a great person to that guy. She's shit out of his ego. Like, he loves her. He's thinking about moving the motherfucker in.
You gotta move on the couch.
Yo, perception is dangerous.
Yo, that shit is wild.
He just gave her a place to stay off for how much he gives her ego. He's like, well, my crib is
Your
cool.
refrigerator is always full.
You got something on the rent, and you get an EBT card too. Come on.
You being like all this shit. I'm like,
You can cook? Come on, man. I'll be busy after work anyway.
I'm calling the cops saying somebody broke in. I want to break the door or some shit. I know somebody really broke in. Fucking shit up. Check out the all fucked up now. What happened here? I came home like
Take the heat down out the kitchen.
what happened to them? Well, you know.
I was like, does
Oh,
not
that feels dumb good.
One
Stay
hundred-
cooking in there.
117 shots in between them motherfuckers.
Oh, man.
Where's all these holes doing in the wall?
Swiss fucking cheese.
I just got here right now. That's what.
Almost insurance will cover that.
Homeowners insurance better cover that shit.
I don't know what the
I
hell.
thought they was
Right.
insurance, man.
Well, hopefully you're a homeowner.
There's good rental insurance.
Yeah, rental insurance with the apartment, but I mean, you share a wall with somebody, you get a bystander.
Yeah.
You just call 4 bodies.
Well, how's your Spanish? We're going to Mexico.
Everything
You
I'm
got
saying
yeah.
is
Pack that.
self-defense.
So eventually you end up packing your bags anyway. Should have said fuck the bullshit and skipped it. Let your success be the revenge, man.
Did y'all see that shit Fantasia's taking heat for right now? She said women should submit to men, and that's how come women are single right now because they don't.
Fuck that talk Fantasia.
This is the, oh yeah, I think
It's a unique topic to say with 5 men on
Talk
the mic.
that.
Asking for
Talk
trouble.
that
You know
talk
what I'm saying?
Fantasia. Hey,
You believe so?
Kind of
talk
sort of.
that.
You go like top to bottom?
What?
Top to bottom, you believe that?
Walk in the door, she take your shoes off. What you gonna do? You walk in the door, a woman take your shoes off.
That's too much. I don't need that much.
What you gonna
I'm
do?
grown. I know
I
how
don't
to
need
do
that
that.
much either. That's the point.
I just put them on.
That's
I
the
could
point.
take them off. Like, I'll be
Everything we like in life is shit we don't need.
How you feel?
For real.
Fuck the bullshit shit. You walk in the
No,
house
no,
and
no.
all that shit she do that you don't need, you gonna be like,
I feel
Not like,
Damn.
but I mean, like,
in all reality, I
Damn.
feel like you're gonna want that much.
that's a
gonna,
lot.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yo,
eventually,
somebody
like,
start
they
doing that much to
breathing
you,
in-
you're gonna be like, she's smothering you.
Yeah, bro.
Bothering the shit out of you.
Man.
Like, yo, alright, you gotta think about it.
if I got complete control, I'm gonna say, sit!
Bro,
Stay!
and you know what's ironic about that? I was just about to talk about that.
Come down.
I was
You doing all this?
Bro, I was literally about to talk about a dog.
Go do that.
Like, go
Like,
fetch or some shit.
If you put up the money to get a dog, you feed the dog, you do all this, why do you get annoyed as soon as you open the door and they run up to you? You brought it here, it's all on you. Now you mean to tell me somebody you're complicit in a relationship with, they just do that every day, you're not gonna be annoyed by that shit? Like, you be like, damn. Like, you want them to acknowledge you, you don't want them to sit there and keep clicking the channels and act like you didn't even walk through the door, but she can say hi and keep it moving.
But just like the dog,
I
you
hate
brought that
being
thing.
bothered.
No, I'm a clingy.
Are you clingy enough?
Yeah, I'm
Clingy ass.
affectionate.
Are you clingy enough
When
for
I
that?
walk in the door,
I
I want
like
to
that
feel like
shit.
straight acknowledge me.
You want to, like,
Yo,
I'm
for
around the
real,
same
offer.
shit.
What you want?
Sit, drop, stop.
Yo,
Like, you
here
don't think
now.
that would get annoying?
Not to me.
I mean,
it's annoying that I don't get it.
For real.
This is like I ain't never got that check, man. I fuck these out, man.
Yo, I swear to God, everything. Yo, I'm like that though too. Like I need that. I need that.
Leo Virgo shit.
I need that.
I hear you on the conversation part. I hear you on the conversation. You know what I mean?
They look like he be ready to snap.
Be selective what you say, bro. I hear you on the conversation.
You don't think that's a lot?
Nah, the conversation is definitely 100%. That's number one. Like come in the crib trying to get conversation. Yeah.
That's cool.
But the whole like shoe shit, y'all niggas is wildin' with all that.
Nah, that's what I was relating my response to. I'm like, yo,
that shit real.
you crack the door and you
My bad.
Well, great.
Let me think I'll be closed for you.
I mean, that's
You gonna
different.
complain?
That's a little different.
Nah, that's
Like, bro, you gonna complain
I
now?
ain't
Like,
gonna about that. But don't take off my shoes. I can do my shoes.
that's because your feet stink.
It be good.
Well, it's quiet, I got it.
If you think that would be super considerate of you, you're not sitting down.
They ain't fuck with his socks.
In all reality, feel.
I mean, if you don't, but if you don't love her, shouldn't you be in something like that?
Nigga cringing up his toes and shit.
But you said he fuck with his socks.
Didn't fuck with his socks.
But it's alright. Like you ain't in a relation, right?
Nah, well, you know,
He's scratching his head.
It wouldn't matter if the socks are on.
Nah, I'm just saying. I feel like if you love somebody, you a little bit more intimate.
He said, well,
You know what I'm saying? Like
Be selective what
like
you
you
say.
said, bro.
Shut up. Let's say it. Let's just shut up.
Nah,
Comments not about to blow up.
you don't think that's more intimate? Like you alright, so you mean to tell me one night stand you got the socks off?
Question
I
mark.
feel like
What's the socks off no matter what?
I did
You take the socks off?
before the drawers, man.
Yeah, my socks
In
is
the one
pretty.
night stand?
My socks is pretty.
Nah,
My
night
socks
stand.
is
I'll tell you,
I
that's
feel like
pretty
you
routine.
put your socks on or up.
Yeah, I'm not big on that.
I don't think it
I
really
really don't
matters.
care.
I just feel like
Whatever
it's
happens,
not intimate,
happens.
man.
If you keep them on,
It's a level of intimacy. Like they don't need to see the feet. They don't need to be involved.
It'd be dark, for real.
I'm just saying.
you like feet? You be buying bitches pictures?
Nah.
This is pictures.
Bitches?
No, those men exist. I told a friend of mine that was posting their feet on the internet.
Feet. They be
I was like, yo,
Niggas
bro,
buy pictures of
feet.
feet.
Yes, that's a thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Shut your
That's a
mouth
fucking
and shoot
thing.
me.
I told I wish you was watching
Niggas
it.
buy pictures
I
of
told a
feet.
friend of mine. I said stop. I said stop
What's the
giving that out for
price range?
free. I said you can pay your rent
Yo,
for that
like
shit.
hundreds of dollars. Like
You're
I
fucking
swear to God, I
blind.
swear to God, yo, these
There's a
chicks-
market for that, man. People are
Yes,
weirdos.
feet.
People are nuts.
Bro,
Yeah,
you don't know if them bitches' feet smell good.
I mean, but you be hanging
You
around a lot of
can
people with
take
your
a
feet
bitch
out.
can take a picture of a foot on the top, and the whole bottom could be black than the motherfucker. Are you serious?
They
I
be
mean,
like
but-
And
that.
that nigga loving that foot, nigga. That whole bottom.
You gotta think about it. Like we live in a nasty
Looks like
world.
lava rocks.
We live in a nasty world, bro. Like you know how all the girls was like going to Dubai or whatever. Like
They
you
beat
know
up
what's going
chicks.
down out there.
You married and shit too.
No,
They getting fucking
dudes
dogged
just
out.
like I'm talking about just real talk Instagram prostitution. Like
For real.
girls going out there making $10,000-$20,000.
Off their feet?
No, those girls
More
were
than
doing
their
more. Those girls actually, I mean, but they was getting defecated on all types of weird shit. But it's like people are into weird stuff, like you know what I mean? Like y'all say this is inappropriality, but no, they're
Yeah, them
inappropriate.
niggas-
Them niggas
them
are
niggas
really
just
nuts.
wanted the bag.
They need to be on, you know what I'm saying?
But you,
Yeah,
okay,
we can shit on the bitch on camera.
that's disgusting.
Nigga, who's we?
That's
I guess I've been drinking too much. I didn't get not a
Wait, what is that? I want to
I
know
didn't
about
get not
that.
a one yay in this song. Not a dilly, not a nothing.
Nah,
Shit,
it
was
got
right
real
with that?
quiet. I was having my shit from the pocket.
Oh, no, nigga.
Ain't no scat going on in that.
Oh man,
No pissing shit.
No, thank you.
Hell no.
that was a little wild, man. You on that ledge alone.
This nigga jumped off that cliff a long time ago,
man.
clearly.
It's me over there.
Clear camera.
At least the thing I was alone on was like just keep your socks on. I don't like, this was wild, bro.
Yeah, I don't really give a fuck.
What if you ain't had no socks up the right? You walking with
He's
some
out.
But don't you
Fucking
be like yo,
tripod,
you
nigga.
that's like I hate saying that's not like really intimate
Fuck
for
on the
you.
beach.
Like don't you like you do martial arts, right?
Yeah.
So your feet's always up.
And they
Yeah.
wrestle all kind of
That's what I'm-
shit.
I'm just saying like your feet's always out. Like
Oh,
it's not gonna be like oh where'd that come from?
And they
Yeah,
open
I
toes
guess.
with
Yeah,
no
I never
socks.
been like that before.
You was heel kicking a nigga.
Yo, what? The other day, okay. my daughter just got her high red belt, right? And I was just like, just messing around with her, and she did this wheel kick, like it's a spinning back kick, and like she almost literally took my head off. I was just like, not doing that anymore. Not doing that anymore.
What if you get knocked out playing with
Yo, it could have happened. I got kind of scared.
Would you be proud?
Yeah, if she would have knocked me out, hell yeah, I would have been like amazed. I'd have been like, yo,
be out. Yeah, right. I'm dazed in them home. Go to your room. You did that shit?
I'm the one who started messing with her. I was like, yo, come on. And then she fucking did that just real quick. Like, I was just like, oh, like her foot was like around that. I was like, yo, it's like, yo.
I feel like that feeling would change on the car ride
I would have been because what?
The car ride home would have been.
Cause yo, she needed to know she could do that to somebody. She needed to know she could do that to somebody. Yup, she needed to know she could do that to somebody.
He said yup.
Yup. She needed to know. Like, yeah, nigga, yo, what you think this is for?
So we're calling home because your daughter seems to have roundhouse kicked.
Yo,
Little Jeffrey.
A boy. Yeah, he's still out cold. We've tried everything. We need you to come and get him.
He's still.
Man, what did he do?
Right. What did he do? Because that's her in the bag move. So
Like not only did she learn to do that, she learned to do that when provoked. Therefore, I already know somebody he fucked up. Look, if he's out, it's his fault.
Call me when he come to.
shit, you talking shit. Yo, y'all ever have one of y'all niggas need to lie for y'all and you fuck up completely?
Nah.
Of course. Damn.
Never.
That's some great ass niggas. In your life?
Huh?
Never.
In your life?
Nah. I mean, I think. First off, most of that stuff, like that shit is like your responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't have to have.
Nobody in your shit.
No. That's one thing I was gonna say. Like
nobody in your shit.
Do whatever you do by yourself. You know, so nobody has to be complicit in it or whatever. Like, or like you have to make everything crystal clear and all of that. I can't really get into like on the mic because that'd be like. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I just believe that like. First off, know who, like, employ your allies. Like, don't go to your dumb friend. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't go to your friend that...
Yo, Dame.
Yo, I was about to say, avoid Dave. Avoid Dave.
And sometimes they're not even... Like, sometimes they're not even dumb people, but it's just not in them to do the damage to kill for you. Like, you gotta think about it. Some of your friends is too accessible on the internet. Like, you know what I mean? To be the person, to be the go-to.
So-and-so house, because he just put a picture out there.
Exactly.
So-and-so in Connecticut, so you in Connecticut with him?
But he showed on his story he was driving at the same time you said that y'all over. You gotta know what you talk about if you don't have somebody talking with you.
Now,
These chicks like CIA.
listen,
Yo.
she called my phone. I'm not even gonna answer the shit.
Every female should go be a bounty hunter.
Already.
Yeah, then I get fucking inbox, nigga.
Every female should go be a bounty hunter.
You think so?
If y'all broke females sitting around, don't know what y'all could do, go be a
Bounty hunter.
Like, no
I mean, you just skip private investigation.
Yo, they got a knack for this
Bounty
shit.
hunter.
They got a knack for this shit. Like, they can do this shit.
That's dangerous.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
private investigator. They could have stayed in the bushes
I done
with the
seen a lot
camera
of
and
hood
got the
females
check.
do a lot of dangerous shit. With vehicles, weapons.
Who you
all sorts of shit. So shit, they might as well get paid for this shit. Living high risk.
Crazy. Screwdrivers, butter knives.
You alright, Dave? You need a hug, nigga.
Huh? Listen to shit today.
That was all last week.
It's a safe space. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my god.
Damn, bro. Worse than a fucking abusive parent.
That nigga seen the football games.
I bet.
And shit.
I was again there being there. I was again being
That shit
there.
was amazing.
You was talking more shit.
When I was awake,
You fell asleep
I fell asleep like a couple times.
for real.
I
You
was
was
high as
drunk.
fuck. Yeah, I got drunk off that fucking high price ass double deuce. Fucking double deuce for $1 million. It's like 90 degrees. Hot as hell. It was like 90 degrees. Yeah.
For real?
Sitting in the sun.
You went to the Cowboys game? Nah, my parents count those pictures. That shit was whack though.
You stupid as fuck.
That shit was.
You wasn't there.
Fucking boy. The other fact your boy AP broke a little fucking record.
Nah, he did.
Nah, you can't now agree with me.
Because it was where you was at. I gotta agree with where you was at.
So the other fact AP broke his little record.
Crazy. We got fans in Virginia now.
You know what I mean? Fucking.
Grandfather Peter.
It was just. Being a fucking. A big rivalry game, nigga, against that. That shit was ridiculous. That shit was ridiculous.
I'm looking alright. Ain't gonna front though.
Hey, son,
Looking alright right now.
let them play somebody, right?
I'm pretty upset about a couple teams. Really upset about
That shit's stupid.
the fucking Saints, nigga. I'm done depressed about Drew Brees right now. My fantasy's looking fucked up for anybody playing fantasy. I know y'all niggas are stressed.
You lost all your break.
Nigga, what? I lost. Nigga, there's no point in fucking. I seen that. Then I watched the Eagles game. Yo, I fucked with the Falcons for beating them niggas.
They got smacked.
That was a crazy game though. Nah, it was crazy though because like it looked like the team was kind of giving up. Man, players was getting hurt and shit. Like that shit was wild. They played with no receivers. Like Alshon was out. That fucked up my fantasy. Sean fucked up my fantasy. Nigga.
God damn, bro.
That was his feelings.
You know one of the worst
Nah, I
fantasy
definitely had one of the worst fantasy weeks I've ever had.
Yeah, that was
Ever
crazy.
too.
I had 99 points, nigga.
I ain't
I
gonna
should
talk
have
about
had
it.
Cowboys.
I ain't gonna talk about it.
Fuck
Fuck this.
Fuck this.
For real. Who you listening to right now?
I just some quiet hours.
Yeah, you listening to right now?
Probably majority R&B.
Why cool?
Like, shit. That list is long. I mean, like, there's gonna be like popular people. Like, I'm always mess with Ty Gallagher or whatever. Like, he's more R&B than me. Like, on Daniel Caesar, like newer people, always gonna listen to classics like Luther and stuff like that. Who else? Her's really dope. She's super talented. As far as newer rappers, like I really like Bobby and Corday.
Word.
He's
Fuck
dope.
with him.
He reminds me of Cole.
It's surprising.
But
For real, I like his
It's
album.
actually surprising.
We mentioned it. We didn't talk about it. I like his album.
I think he, he reminds me of Cole, but I think that just like kind of shows us how long Cole's been
For these
around.
young niggas, for him, like
It makes sense.
it's surprising.
It makes sense. I mean, that just shows that you can look a certain way and it's not all that meets the eye. So if you just look at him and all the people he's next to, you're probably gonna think that like everybody in the YBN collective, like more to like just be on the turn up. He came with a whole different vibe.
I think we respect all them little niggas more now. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Shit, if you
We all
respect
listening
the man's
to-
and he doing some shit like
Shit, I
that.
think it's dope you said Ty Dolla because a lot of people
Go.
didn't mention that nigga. A lot of
We
people
talked about it a long time.
We know he the GOAT.
So I mean, I wish Party Next Door would drop some new music, but
Yeah,
he gotta do his job. He's a writer first, you know what I mean?
I don't know, right now, lately, I mean, obviously I listen to Crow, but lately I've been listening to like the Baby, listening to him lately. A couple local artists, Saint, Mac, or I don't know, shit like that. I'm kind of like, I just listen to newer shit, like just random shit, that catches people's ears, kind of like get in tune with shit. Right, lately I've just been really into the shit.
Mac Way.
Yeah.
Way. Fabian.
Like that.
King ISO, shit like that.
Word. I got Fabian on CD right now.
You dream?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Shit's dope. I like Beyond Will. I like Beyond Will too. That shit's still fire though. I fuck
You
with it.
got a longer relationship with the previous CD. So
Yeah.
you're more in tune to it.
Yeah, that could be it too. I fuck with it. I mean, shit's on repeat. Man.
Is that-
Over and over again. That's just dope. Shit, shout him out, shout out Fabian. This nigga just did the parade. You know what I mean? He did his thing before I'm on the float and shit like that. That mad niggas on shit.
He dropped on video.
Yeah, I know T-Squad just put out the video of the family a couple weeks ago, I think. A couple weeks ago.
He put a video to the whole tape.
Did he? I didn't see all that.
T-Swan?
T-Swan?
Tape.
Maybe it was like one song or something.
He did. I mean, but that goes back to like, does it make sense to support the audio with visuals? It does.
Absolutely. I think you need
With
it.
that, you know what I mean? A question we've been asking definitely a lot of people lately. Why you think nobody from this area made it?
Yet.
Yeah, I like the yeah. I like that. Yeah. In my opinion, I think like people have a different criteria for other people in comparison to local people. I mean, I don't think, unfortunately, like we live in an area where like people don't want to like make other people successful, because then it's like, well, they made themselves a fan. As opposed, you know what I mean? Like they're not gonna look at it like, oh, you had a talent and they wanted to help nurture that or support that. They're gonna look at it like they made themselves a fan in the process, like they got on your dick, which is corny. That's how people think. You gotta think about it like lower alphabet level celebrity could come here anytime and sell out one of these clubs.
Everybody be
You can't get a share, and that's free, and then nobody got to move for it.
That shit's stupid.
So you'll open up for the spot. Everybody come.
But that's the
literally
over.
after.
That's the overall problem here. So
After
that's
you went on.
so when you say why do I think like people don't make it, it's because of that. Plus, I think their criteria is weird. Like for some reason, like they may listen to like Cole all day, they may listen to Drake all day, but then if you say like, oh, put on somebody like yourself, you'd be like, like you know, like not like hard, like you know what? Like it'd be like you still listen to that. Like, but it's like that's your rules here. You know what I mean? Like he's not thugging. Like you know what I mean? Like why would I look? Like you don't listen. Like you don't still listen to that type of music.
Or not even they listen to some bullshit, yo. You play like some good like content, like lyrical shit or something that's like a good beat or you know got a good hook to it. You know what I mean? And they'll be like, nah, or like this. Nothing like nigga, what the fuck that mean? Like you fuck with this or nah? Like
and that's another thing. I don't know if anybody here actually has like the music of the times. Support like right now, like I'm not gonna be like it doesn't matter if I like it or not, but like the music of the times, like do you think that you look around at anybody sounds like Lil Yachty? No matter how you feel about Lil Yachty, do you think anybody in Springfield sounds like it? Do you think anybody in Springfield sounds like Migos? Do you think that anybody in Springfield sounds like
I do.
Anybody who?
No,
you don't have to say who it is. You don't have to say who it is.
Right.
I don't know if the person will take it as an insult. But if you said you feel that someone sounds like Lil Yachty.
No, Migos.
Oh, Migos. Okay, so that their goal is to get some of that engagement. Are they getting that? Otherwise, is that really the music you made all the time? I think what's worse to me is to see somebody that rap like you, or rap like myself, and always been like content driven and had a theme and a topic and like had well thought out music, and then all of a sudden do that shit. Cause I'm like, damn, bro, you want to be on that bad?
Sell out.
I'm not gonna call you sell out.
That's exactly what it is, though.
Not necessarily. I mean, you might just be a
You're
chameleon.
trying to be not even.
Like, and it shows me how you feel about the art. Cause see, like this man gonna sit right there and he's like, yo, I'm gonna tell the story this way. Cause that's who I am and that's how I want to present the story. Like, yo, but everybody doing it like it need to sound like Bad and Bougie. You're gonna be like, yeah, but I need it to be this way.
I feel like that goes back to that offset.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, how do you feel about, like, how do you really feel about what you're doing? Like, are you willing to risk it and put yourself out there in a way that everybody's not looking for? Or are you going to have, like, one song that sounds like J. Cole and then the next song sound like Stir Fry by the Migos?
That's crazy.
Or sound like T-Shirt by the Migos?
I definitely will.
But that's cool if it's all you know what I mean? Like,
I ain't know.
huh?
I ain't know. I will.
Bro, there's different sides of life. Like, I mean, like, and how old are you?
I'm 21.
You're a perfect age to say that there's different sides of life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, like, my 24 hours don't work the way yours do. I'm older. You know what I'm saying? Like, when my 24 hours worked that way, it made a lot more sense. Because at the end of the day, it's like, yeah, I go to class, I go to work, I chill with my girl, I do this, I chill with my friends, I go to the club every day. You figure out a way to do all that. Why would your music not reflect all of that shit? My music should reflect the fact that my black ass is at work all the time. And if I'm not at work, I'm dodging motherfuckers. Why the fuck am I gonna make a song that sounds the way you kick it at the club? Because even when I go out, it's different.
So you're not making
when I go out, I'm looking for a lounge. I'm looking for a low spot. I'm trying to just be in conversations. So my music should sound that smooth. My music shouldn't sound like I'm jumping around because that's not what I'm doing. But niggas is desperate to be on, so they sound like your CD. But they're my age or older.
But then that's how you flip it. You use a tight beat instead of using a flow and using what you're doing. You use they type of beat. You put your own flow. You put your own
If
words.
you want
Anything.
to, but I mean, like you have to want to play that game. Trust me, I did that too. Cause I kept the content how it was and made and used beats that was sounding similar. But that was when I put out my second CD. Cause I gave a shit about what everybody thought. I don't give a shit no more.
Facts.
I can give a fuck less, so I'm not gonna search for a type beat.
Oh my god.
Talk that talk. You at that stage. I hear you.
And I love the stage you at. You doing everything you're supposed to do, bro. Like as a 21-year-old, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Fuck everything I'm talking about.
Nah, I'm listening. I got you.
Say him to say that shit.
You have any influencers?
You said live?
Yeah.
Sound weird to say it now because this dude said I was old. I don't think I'm old, but like that's an influential person. Like I mean, but I think like a lot of people like that's super cliche to say that.
I think it's a GOAT.
Yeah, I mean,
Top of top.
From nothing and did more than we ever seen a nigga in that.
it can be undeniable at times, but you know we have to be careful with our relationship with celebrity. But you know what I mean, like, cause some people like it too much. Like when things start looking a little weird, you should be able to say that looks a little weird.
We was just talking about that shit the other day. Cause I asked him niggas if they actually believe in Illuminati, and he was like, "Damn, he's starting to because this nigga how he's damn near
I don't like the way Hov is done.
every pocket,
I
everywhere."
genuinely don't like
What
it.
you mean?
Every fucking week, something or someone done signed the Hov, or he done signed the new deal, or he. And I'm
Meg
all
just
for it,
signed.
shit,
Was that
'cause
yesterday?
I feel like Hov is the GOAT. This motherfucker that influenced me in a billion different ways. I could argue to everybody about him being the best rapper of all time, but in the same breath, it's like, I don't know. I still can understand that certain doors are closed for black men in this generation, in this year. So for a lot of doors to be opening just for him and him only, when P. Diddy been getting that money, and them doors ain't open like that for P. Diddy.
Did you
Dr. Dre been getting that money, and them doors ain't been opening like that for Dre. You know what I'm saying? A lot of doors opening up for Hov that ain't open for no motherfucking black man ever.
I mean,
So you
how
know
many
you
of
gotta
them?
be playing cards with
Well, how
somebody.
many of them had a Beyonce? And that's not my point. Like Dame Dash said that. You know what I mean? He was talking about like sometimes guys get a little too prideful to actually like give credit to like the woman in their corner or whatever. But at the end of the day, like there's a currency there, and I'm not saying I can't sit here and say that they don't really love each other or that it wasn't pure or whatever. But he knew that going into it. He knew that was a benefit.
That shit definitely was a business.
He knew when he approached her that like, yo, the way I'm gonna be walking up to people after this is different. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if Jay-Z is dating a girl that has 20 million followers on Instagram because her body's amazing, is she at Obama's inauguration? No, like it's like Beyonce means something to the culture. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to think about, you gotta think about everything. Like as far as like, you know, it isn't like this dude ain't start getting. This dude has been calculated all these years, found a way around all these different no's, and you gonna think now all of a sudden he's not calculated?
I don't knock.
That's why even when people was mad at the NFL thing, I'm like,
I don't knock the way he moved. I'm just saying that at the end of the day,
he's oversaturated to you right now.
Way, yeah, and in a weird way, it just like it ain't sitting right. You know what I'm saying? Like it just ain't sitting right because a lot of people been trying to get in a lot of them lanes that he done got into. Shit from P. Diddy a couple of years ago when he was talking about the shit with the Carolina Panthers.
That's a
whatever
different thing.
fizzled out or anything, it was nothing that came further from P. Diddy.
It's a different thing though.
Facts. But shit, when Dr. Dre touched his money with the beats and Apple bought them beats off and then Dr. Dre went back in the back cave and disappeared, like, you know.
But I don't know what he tried to do. I don't know what Dre tried to do.
Even when he made them beats, we didn't know he was doing that shit.
I feel like Dre likes to stay low and get money. So if you're not like pursuing the opportunity, can I say that it got taken away from you or you got told no? You just didn't even want it. I never heard that Drake tried to get something and it got denied.
But that's the shit.
Like the Diddy thing. Like yeah, they didn't answer him, but like you gotta remember, like I mean, like it's like it's weird. Like it's weird because you gotta always factor in time. Like Diddy did some shit. I hate to say it, but that shit was lip service.
Right. Yeah.
Because you know what I'm saying? Because if he was really trying to do it, he would have went about it differently.
Oh yeah.
You know that. Like he ain't saying nothing about revolt until it was done. Till he had 1 million meetings and heard no 100 times. That was just getting on the pander and be like, yeah, I'd like to be a part of the ownership
I think
group.
he should do more with Revolt. He could do more with it.
He could, but no. I can't. You can't
because of the Breakfast Club.
But you can't compare him to Viacom. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't compare him to these TV powers that been here forever. Like it's tough. Like I mean, like and you know how you gotta know it's tough? Like look at Oprah. You're not happy with Own. Right. Not crazy. So it's not easy. And then they're not even operating in a TV friendly time. Like you know what I'm saying? Like who's to say what Revolt would be?
TV is done.
10 years ago, 15 years ago. Like you know what I'm saying? Like when you was riding home watching 106 & Park. If Revolt had something like that, you'd be on Revolt all day.
Yeah, I don't got shit like that.
You know what I'm saying? Even when you was like watching MTV Jams and like all that stuff, like you know what I mean? Like you'd be on TV all day, but now you're not on TV like that. So it's like that shit damn near seems pointless. Like you go right to YouTube and watch the Breakfast Club interview. So what you need Revolt for? What if you one of the people that's already forward thinking?
I watch it live. I watch it live.
That's what's up. And that's what I'm saying. Like you know what I mean? Like those like they have a purpose, but it's like the purpose is for those that enjoy it live. It's not gonna work. Like TV numbers can't be the same. Yo, they just had the MTV award show on the freaking MTV VMAs on a Monday. When you ever seen that? That's how much that shit don't matter no more.
So usually on a Sunday or some bullshit.
Of course. Like you ain't gonna see the Grammys on no Monday.
I don't really watch that shit.
Like, I know, I feel you. I'm just saying, like nobody does though. That's the point.
Yeah. Yo,
I really watch the BET Awards.
That makes you everybody.
Could y'all be with the recovering crackhead?
Nope.
Wherever it is.
Oh, shit. This is on white people
Next,
shit.
he's about to go.
Now this next question. This is on white people shit. This is white people shit. If your girl get pregnant by somebody else, y'all staying with it?
No.
No. Yo.
Like you find out during pregnancy, like the baby ain't gonna be yours.
Wow.
Yeah, like damn.
It doesn't matter when I found the fuck.
Yeah, whenever you find out, you punch out of work.
He did some white people shit, so I had to figure out when was the timing point with that. You know.
I swear.
What if she never told you she was pregnant, but like you seen her like stomach start growing? Wait, what?
Damn, baby, you're getting fat.
Right, and then she's like,
baby on you or some shit?
oh, we're having a baby. Like she's trying to surprise you, and then you find out it's not yours.
Surprise.
Like how would you feel about that?
I would feel surprised.
Surprise.
Never was a surprise.
Hide it.
Well, yeah.
Soon as y'all had the baby.
Yeah, and it never was a surprise because one, she basically ain't tell you, and then it wasn't yours. You was never even pleasant from either point of the situation.
That's wow. Shit. Right. You ain't saying nothing.
I couldn't imagine baby come out Asian. I couldn't imagine. I couldn't.
That's what I'm saying. Who fucking baby is this? It's fucking a Chinese man. I never said it was your baby.
Fucking delivery driver.
I was pregnant.
Nigga like what?
You done bought mad shit.
Mad tissue. You stocked up on tissue. All types of tissue.
I bought diapers for this situation. Alright. What? Shit, don't ask me for no gifts. Can't come empty handed. I don't take it to bank.
Fucking tissue.
What?
Dude, Dave, just make a card, find somebody else's gift, and just switch the card with it.
See,
You're
that's
good.
even worse, bro.
You're good.
Y'all
Fine.
gotta think about that.
He's thinking about a whole dirtbag sometimes. He's thinking about a whole dirtbag.
Yo, damn.
Yo. Oh my god.
Sean Coonery.
Sometimes I can't even think about that.
I mean, but sometimes when you get there, don't be lined up.
This nigga's a dirtbag in the half.
Sometimes when you get there, don't be lined up. I understand.
I got you that one.
Where that's my bag.
Right.
That shit too nice.
Damn, who bought that shit? Damn, oh my god.
Damn, I know damn when you ain't just
Now, when there's those events, yo, y'all announcing who gave gifts? They be like, yeah. I be like, oh, okay.
That's when you slide
Where
out.
yours at? Oh, it's over here.
That's when you slide out.
You put that shit under your table, nigga.
Nah, I'm about to get my
I'm gonna say your name and
Not
everybody
even.
like,
Because if I got a card, like in that situation, most likely I got a
We about
card.
to open gifts.
So if
They
they're like,
dip.
yo, we announced this shit, I'm like, yo, I got the card, nigga. You know what I'm saying? If they're like, nah, my shit right here, some big shit, I'm pointing at it. You know what I mean? Probably
You gotta wrap the toilet paper.
Would you rap?
A big ass like.
Damn, that's the thing. Would I rap it?
You gonna wrap the toilet paper?
Nah, I'm not gonna rap it. I ain't gonna rap it. I'm just gonna bring that
So
shit.
you gonna walk in there, home function?
And like, where's the
big ass booty?
Where's the food that I brought napkins?
I'm gonna tell
Hey,
you.
yo, fam, you brought napkins?
You know them bullshit. A couple days ago, fucking I was over at one of my jobs.
Start
I
the count.
and shit. And
This
the
nigga.
lady gave me the little throwaway bags, but not the bags you would, you know, so you ain't gonna throw them away now. People trying to like not use plastic. So she gave me a bunch of those bags. I probably would have just stored it up in there, nigga, and just like, yo, here I got some tissue.
They got bags and shit at the Dollar Tree.
I probably would have did all that.
Keywords
Talking
that is
about
dollar.
me, I ain't doing all that.
He's like, you weren't that is that.
Obviously,
But
nigga,
then,
you fucking.
If you only want to go to one place, just go to
Toilet paper,
CVS and get
house
the gift
warmer.
card, bro.
Like if
That's where. Oh yeah, and you had to get a card. You just put the card in the gift card. You done.
Right.
Like, just one place.
All right. You know what I mean?
It's recording, it's not live right now.
Right. No bullshit.
But I can't see the timer. So
Stop that 101.
I'm just saying.
What?
Did you have a good kid?
Nah.
He said,
If you had showed up last year to my shit with that, I would have laughed. I would have took it, punted it off my part.
It'd have been like that or candles or something.
They treat that shit like Trump.
oh man.
And you've been
I know a nigga right in Puerto Rico, nigga, just like throw that shit in the crowd, nigga.
Yeah, word.
Kobe. Nigga. Come
Knocking on
on.
neighbors' doors and shit. Hey, it's nice to meet you.
Yeah, I was watching the Joe Rogan podcast and Bill Burr was on there. Yo, okay, so first of all, y'all see the backlash that he's getting too? Did you finally see the fucking Dave Chappelle shit?
Yeah, I did.
God, what's wrong?
What's
with
Bill
you,
Burr
man?
getting
I seen
backlash from?
Because of his stand, they're pretty much just the same.
Same thing.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
We might have to talk about this nigga never gonna see it.
I know.
What, the Dave Chappelle joint?
Yeah.
That shit was funny. You seen it?
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah, bro. That shit. See, you got to. He's outnumbered. You seen it yet?
He's trying to.
Like I seen it, but I didn't find it as funny as how y'all seen it.
You crazy.
Nah.
It's funny, but it's not like how y'all hyping it
That
up.
shit is hilarious, nigga. Yeah, I know. That's exactly
I'll
what
give
it
him
is.
that.
Yeah.
Nah, that shit was
It's
hilarious.
funny, but it's definitely not his best. I heard people saying it was his best one yet.
Right, and that's nowhere near.
That shit
Yeah,
was hilarious.
I think.
It was funny. It was definitely funny.
I mean, I think the way people work is like, it's because it's so it's counterculture. What his material is on there, so it seems like it's more impactful, which makes it seem funnier, which makes it seem better than the other ones. Because like, yeah, if it just blends in society the way society is, it's not taboo, so it doesn't have that other factor and the recency bias because it's current. You know what I mean? When it's the newest, like unless it's just like completely off center. Like, you know what I mean? Like when somebody comes out with a CD that's so different than from who they are, then they piss off their base. But it's like, this is like who he is. This is the Chappelle you missed. This is the person that like gave you these amazing sketches or whatever. And on top of that, everybody's super sensitive. So it seems mad taboo for him to do this shit.
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy how they went from Dave Chappelle talking the same exact way, being the most popular man on television, and talking the same exact way, and now he's got to answer all kinds of questions about bullshit.
Yeah, he's not crazy. The world's crazy.
Yep. And it happened fast.
He named his shit Sticks and Stones for a reason.
Of
Like,
course. It was all premeditated.
I'm just saying that happened in like a generation, not even that U-turn.
Yeah. I mean, but that's how everything is now.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably doesn't seem like a generation to him because he's like, you know what I mean? Like, no, I'm saying.
I wrote a spike here. It's locked up outside.
Fucking bell on that motherfucker.
Not the worst thing is, like, I wasn't gonna say it in the demeaning way. I was gonna say you was like 10. When like Chappelle came. No, the Chappelle show. Bro, The Chappelle show.
Yes,
I'm not.
I watched it.
No, but I'm not hating. I'm just talking about for it to be live. I'm not knocking your age. Like,
I watched it. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but it's different.
As far as how you could take it in, like it doesn't mean the same.
Like it's different. It's different. Like, you know what I mean? Like we'll never feel how people that are like 50 feel when like old school music comes on, because we're like, yeah, we heard it as a lot now too. They're like, yeah, but you wasn't there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like to actually like sit around and hear a Chappelle show come on and hear the theme and you laughing already, like it's already building up, and then like that shit took over Saturday Night. I mean, on Saturday Night Live's whole trap. Like, you know what I mean? For sketch comedy, like, you know what I mean? Like killed whatever you thought about, like In Living Color. Was like, damn, like it had like a lot to build up to, like that we all like. But if we all seen that, it's like it's gonna feel different.
Just like my generation, you would say I got Jordan and Peele, or Key and Peele. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but not even.
I don't
feel like you outdid it.
You think they're funny? Because I don't find them funny.
Wow.
I don't think
I don't think they're funny. That shit.
They have funny skits just like Dave Chappelle has funny skits.
They're not even Keenan and Kel funny.
Wow.
Kel ain't funny.
Yeah. Keenan and Kel
is
is funny.
They try too
like
hard.
Stupid, corny, like,
you can see it. They try too hard.
TV show.
You fuck with them?
I personally don't, but I know a good friend of mine that she fuck with.
Our age?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't find them funny like at all. Even though this guy makes great films, I don't think he's funny.
Like, you don't like him in sketch comedy.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has taste, man. Like, there's something like, man, people even hating on Jesus. What you gonna do? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody's just not for everybody.
I feel like with comedy or like any kind of funny thing, if you're outnumbered with people don't like you, it's not it for you.
How so?
Because you're trying to be funny, so I feel like in the odds of that, you want to project more positive numbers than negative.
Okay, but if you take somebody like Dave Chappelle right now, making something that's like so taboo, would you say that he's any less funny if everybody just turned on him because the way society is? I would still say that shit's funny as fuck. This might be material that people aren't ready to receive.
True.
Don't get me wrong, sometimes you can suck. But you know what I mean? Like, hey, yo, good point. But I mean, like, I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes you could be trash. You can be trash at the art. Like, you know, there's a lot of people that just like something and they think because they like it, they're supposed to do it.
In his defense, like, Cat Williams was like trash.
Like, there's a lecture, you know what I mean? Like, or just like, even like, I do like Dave Chappelle's work, but I mean, like, I don't know, like, I like George Carlin a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of, but then, like, it could be just regular funny shit. Like, I think Richard Pryor's hilarious. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, it's just Kevin Hart and Cat Williams. Like, that's tough for me too. Like, a lot of people love that show, and I don't really.
What do you say?
The 85 Cell Show.
Oh no, yeah, definitely fuck with them.
That shit funny.
That's what's up.
It is fucking hilarious.
Like, people think like DC Young Fly is like, funny.
It took me.
It
It took me watching the 85 South Show to find him funny. I fuck with Carlos Miller heavy because I think he's hilarious.
That's the dude with the beard, the black dude. Yeah.
Carlos Miller is hilarious. That nigga is too. That nigga is too much. I pretty much watch it for him and like, and then DC. That nigga is.
You watch it for him.
I do. Because there's fucking shut up.
They killed you.
It'd be like that. You can't say shit on this show at all. Not anything. Literally, it'd be like this every week.
Man, that was like his favorite character.
Where DC Young Fly, I feel like he like annoying funny. He more like he should kind of
physical comedy,
wilding out funny. He's straight for that shit. I don't feel like. I mean, like,
he's a big Chris Tucker too. Fucking much.
Him?
Yeah,
It's
really,
that's
Chris
that's
Tucker and shit.
Like loud and shit. Stand out.
Shit is on, bro.
Yeah.
It's crazy because I don't watch Joe Budden shit. I don't like him as a personality.
Is that reason?
I'm just arrogant.
That would be a reason. Do you factor that into like your approach onto the mic? Like, I mean, like, to not be, you know how, like, when you see something that inspires you, like, do you have like a flip side to that coin, where it's like there's something that you never want to be, like when you're pursuing this?
Yeah, I guess. But yeah.
That's cool. That makes sense.
Yeah, and I guess that'd be it. Niggas are not trying to be Joe. For real? Just one hit. And just fucking.
Crazy.
We could do that. Not me, Joe. Oh, damn. I started with the Bill Burr shit. This motherfucker said, he said, isn't getting a hand job like brushing your teeth with your left hand?
Wow. That's a very good analogy.
I'm saying, I really thinking about that shit. That's it. I don't know. It just sounds kind of uncomfortable. Just like brushing your teeth with your left hand. Are you getting your hand job with the left hand or something?
Yo, it's yo.
I'm trying to figure out.
What do you mean? I ain't
You
got
get
no
the
problem
hand
with
out.
that. You know what I mean? That's how I said I don't get it because I ain't got no problem with it. That's his preference, motherfucker. You gonna place hands on me? She can place hands on me.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Freeze
the hand, freeze man, other shit. What do you mean? I like folk play like she like folk play.
I
We ain't gotta just get straight to it. He don't just be ready.
I'm with the right hand, we good.
It's a great analogy. Alright, so here's another one. Not like that, but if your girl's getting jumped, y'all, are you knocking bitches up?
Oh yeah.
If your girl's getting jumped right in front of you, y'all beating bitches' asses?
Oh, yeah. This is Sparta.
Yeah, what y'all doing?
It depends if they're bigger.
I might just pull her out.
Then you?
What y'all doing?
No. I mean, like,
Yeah, if they're bigger than you, you better run.
like if they're
That's
bigger,
a big
She
no.
getting jumped. She getting worked.
I'm pulling her.
She's
I mean, I'm pulling her out of there, but I'm saying to fight back.
Back.
Like,
That's it.
So if they're bigger than her, you're jumping in, but if they're not, you're not.
no, like either way,
There's like
I'm
5.
jumping in, but I'm
Oh,
saying to
they
fight back.
start both
You're way bigger than her.
Y'all
She's
gotta
getting
stop that
jumped.
together. It's love.
Someone got to do something.
Nah,
I'm thinking about it.
First of all,
That'd be the worst.
I'm
You
trying
gotta
to.
grab your girl, tell them bitches to back up.
Yeah,
And whoever try to come first, you gotta just throw her at the rest of the bitches, like bowling ball.
yeah, if there's a D ball.
Take your break!
Baby D out the crew.
Baby, run! Your ass can't fight!
You gotta work them out.
So, alright, so what if she swing and hit you? Like, why you grabbing like your girl to get her away and she swinging hit you? What you doing then?
You ain't ever been hit by a woman before?
Yeah, I've been hit.
I'm gonna eat the first one.
The first one.
You ain't ever been hit by a woman before,
Eat the first
motherfucker?
one. Cause
We train to eat
she
by
ain't
what?
gonna punch you.
4 or 5 of them shits where you really get into reaction mode. Like, shit, a bitch can hit you a couple of times, you're like, yo, chill, man.
Right.
Chill.
No,
Alright,
chill.
Chill!
No, I mean like that.
You about to keep
That
teeing
one
off?
right there, that tee off. It hurt.
Right
It's
in the
not
face
just a
with
hit.
your
It's
ear
not
right
just a
there.
hit, but it hurt.
Nah, yeah, I definitely throw. Nah, I wouldn't. I throw a
Fucking
girl.
going to
I throw her. Like, yo. Like, yo.
This nigga
I'm
picking
not
it
gonna
right
hit
now.
you. I'm not gonna hit you.
He going
But I'm gonna be
first
like,
girl
yo,
demonstration.
go this way. Boom. Like, yo.
He going first girl demonstration. Bitch, she crazy.
Yeah.
Bitch, she was crazy.
That's a wild.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Your bitch can fight 5 bitches.
Your bitch can fight.
Like he said, find it tight. You better find a lay
You over here talking about I need a chick that'll take off my
better
shoes
find
every
that
day.
fucking
And fight
She gotta be able to
Good
fight
luck.
bitches.
Hey, I
Good luck,
listen extensive. You better find a Ronda Rousey.
Bitches jumping to the screen.
She lost.
With a hijab. You need a Ronda Rousey with a hijab.
Flashbacks.
Oh man,
What?
Flashback.
that's what he said.
Wow.
Nah, you need what's that?
He didn't know it was a school, Mac.
What?
Is that a chick named Colombiana?
I don't know.
Oh, I know you're talking about.
Joey.
Nah, that's a real name. What's her name?
I knew that's what this nigga was asking.
I don't remember the character.
What does that matter?
I think it was like Catalina.
Catalina.
You word.
Damn,
That
boy,
wasn't even her
Casey
name.
voice when you
That
said
nigga
that.
already
That
knew.
wasn't her name.
That's the kind of bitch you need. You get when I heard no more.
That shit's from a
So
movie.
you need Columbia.
Right, there ain't no such thing
It's
as
a
that.
fictional character.
If you find any
So you
female
need a
like
fictional
that,
character.
nigga,
Yeah, that's basically what you
A person
need.
that's not real.
Thank you.
Damn.
A person that's not real.
Bring the toilet
You ain't
paper.
even listen.
This nigga fucking one
She
of
said
them.
bring the toilet
Damn,
paper.
getting on the video game and playing with Carl.
Yo.
He beat me to it.
Oh
Hey, Carl,
my
you there?
god.
I still haven't seen it, but I know exactly.
It is terrible. I watched it not knowing.
You watch it how many times?
No.
47.
You said I
We
watched
talked
it,
about-
I watched it.
I was like, oh shit, new season Black Mirror. Boom. So yo, wait.
You watch Black Mirror?
Wait a minute.
No,
Wait a minute.
I'll watch the first episode.
Sound though. And I took it out and sound still up.
What?
And it's like not connected.
Alright, so he said, I guess we're wrapping up right
See,
here, right now.
What happened?
Sound was out when this was plugged in, and I took it out and it's still not working, I guess.
Okay, start it over. What was I about to ask?
Something about the Cowboys.
Nah.
I think it's gonna talk about the Giants.
Nah.
Definitely not talking about that.
Who wants to talk about losers?
Y'all both trash ass this division. Y'all both in the same
Hey, we leading our division, bro.
trash ass.
You were surprised that they won last night?
Yeah,
I was.
honestly, just
I was
because-
very surprised.
I thought they got
Name
lucky
the
because
quarterback
they-
again for the
they
Jets.
got hurt, nigga. If this nigga get hurt,
Trevor Siemian?
yeah,
The guy who lost the job to Brock Osweiler and
They'd
Christian
have been
Ponder and
did
fucking.
better probably because they got Le'Veon, bro. He get come on, he's gonna throw better than whoever the fuck his name.
Yo,
is.
He
shut
can throw
up.
better than both of those quarterbacks.
Right. But the Patriots, bro.
Nah,
They had a blowout. They had a 43-0.
Nah, I don't want to talk about football.
Against some bums.
And
Giants
you
last
fucking and you look at you. You're like
So what's the difference?
And the Redskins.
I didn't.
They
I'm not even trying to talk about
Yeah.
football.
Yeah.
Right?
Redskins
That
blew
was-
a 3-0 halftime lead last week, the week before.
Dolphins got everybody on the team signing off. And y'all wouldn't got AB just for them.
Nah.
Even the Ravens are looking like superheroes.
All right. So here's something that got brought up in conversation the other day.
Sounds good already.
Yeah. Do y'all trust a girl that won't taste herself?
Wow.
No.
Well, what? Taste herself?
Yeah. Like you fucking like, and she don't want to suck your dick.
Would I trust her, you said?
Yeah, like.
Damn,
Damn,
You
damn.
getting a little fucking nervous, huh?
That's some
Yeah, that shit's about to
Top
fall
of the
off, guys.
conversation.
Taste.
Yeah,
Would I trust a girl?
yeah, that won't taste yourself.
No, definitely not. She's not taking care of herself.
She's like, yeah.
I mean, I guess shit happens too, but nah.
Shit
Oh,
happens.
we didn't talk about that hole.
What do you mean shit happens?
Wow.
Damn, I don't know what I meant.
Yeah, you
I'm
did.
done with this conversation already.
Nah, guy.
Yeah, what's that? What do you got going?
That's not gonna work.
I was
Yeah, I
wondering.
need an
if you-
extension.
I'm just watching this shit. Just watching
It's like a
the
foot.
Right.
I'm trying
Like,
to
I'm
slow
like,
motion.
yeah, how
We're
far
at
would you
10%.
really gotta go
We're
with
at
this?
10%. We don't have an
All
extension.
right, we fucking hour and a half some shot anyway. Yeah, always some fucking dumb shit. What was I about to ask? Okay, so some bank teller, y'all seen this story too? Some bank teller accidentally deposited, I think like 200,
100,000?
nah, maybe like 250K or some shit like that.
Well, that was $100,000, and they spent it all.
That's
I would've
I heard
gone.
that one. I heard that one.
I would have been gone. In a different.
They in jail. Like, what would you do if a bank teller accidentally fucking?
Whatever the maximum on the ATMs were, I took. I've been good. That's why I had 200.
2,500. You want
Nigga, the ATM maximum probably like 800 a pop.
No, it's 200 at ATM. What ATM you going to?
Maybe a little more.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
a little more than that.
What ATM you go to?
Right, the
you can only pull out $200. Oh, mom, you got a limit on your shit. You got to join the type of moms.
He
You
said,
can only take out $200 a day.
he said, "Mommy."
You said at the store?
Yeah, I got a corner store.
Oh yeah.
25.
Nah, you can go to like a Bank of America joint. You might be able to get like $500.
Yeah, you get a little more than that at like a real ATM. Not no
I thought you just said ATM.
I'm going to the bank and just taking out the funds.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
waiting
taking
for the
out
camera
what
and
I
everything
can.
by.
I'm not even getting that much. I'm
Never
probably
seen me
gonna
after
get,
today.
I get a withdrawal for 10 bands right quick.
No, not that much.
You
You
can't,
can't
right
tell
in front
the
of
It'll probably flag the
I'm walking
system.
in there, in that
I'm not
motherfucker.
going in. I'm going right
Yo,
to
I need this car loan.
Googling countries.
I'm getting
with
enough that if they
non-extraditionary
you gotta
treaties.
pay this shit back. You ain't paying shit back. It's a little bit of money. You got to mark this shit
A
off
little bit of money.
as an error.
Well, it is a little bit.
That's an error.
That's a
Nah,
wild.
And
what I'm
it's
saying
like,
is,
like,
y'all can
yo,
have what's left in
if
my
anything
account.
over
Whatever I
8
didn't
federal
get, y'all
court.
can have. You know what I'm saying? The rest of it.
37
Nigga, they
cents,
spent
nigga.
all of it, nigga.
Negative $112. They gave you a couple hundred bands and you in the negative. Like, nigga, they don't want that. Just that. They looking at you like you cook, nigga. You overdraft. You had 3 days and you.
I'm like, listen, you understand.
You better get it from the first 2,000.
This
You out here asking for a credit bag of weed after 3 days. 250,000.
Dame shows up in a fur, big ass chain.
They be like that. They be them niggas.
Asking for a credit.
Money, huh? What money? I spent that on the tissue I brought you.
Don't be them niggas. Don't be them niggas.
Yo, nah, no good.
That's these young niggas now.
Y'all take tissues?
First thing I'm saying is you understand that y'all niggas put money in my account. That's it. I ain't asked for this shit to be here. Like, what? Oh, with alert saying, yo,
That shit straight ignorant.
that's it. What you mean? Ignorant.
I'm supposed to fucking bring it back.
Right, I'm supposed to be like, I'm supposed to pay it back. What do you mean? Alright, I don't know if that shit off.
I had
I'm
it
like,
happen to me.
retarded. I'm be like, yo, that shit fell on a Thursday. I got paid.
I had to happen to me. I had it happen to me with way less money, of course, but I definitely had the bank. I had the bank. Not really the same thing, but I had them like you know how they count your money when you go to make a withdrawal or whatever. So like for some reason like the hundreds was sticking that day. She gave me like $500 extra.
And you gave it back?
Huh?
You gave it back?
You heard that?
I
Huh?
slid.
Thank you.
No,
How you get
I
in?
slid, but then I got a call from them. And they withdrew it from my balance.
Oh, hell!
That's thievery!
No, but they
Cut this
count-
fucking account!
Like they
But if you
count,
got the
like you're
brand,
on
so-
camera taking them, like stealing
yeah.
from them, like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
look,
That's not stealing. It ain't got nothing to do with you.
guys
What you
changed the
think?
Walmart
You would have been like, I didn't get no $500
You
extra dollars.
see me back there counting the money? No.
but they do
gonna
multiple
get you
accounts.
Nigga,
You can't
what?
really-
What is
you
the
know,
proper protocol
talking-
when you
I'm
got a gun to your head? Do you know the protocol when you got a gun to your head?
Give him the money.
Too young.
Give him the money.
This is exactly what I'm doing. I got a gun in my head.
Too young.
He said you too young. I'm just saying, like
I might
they
turn
don't
around and-
come for their money.
I might turn around and like act psycho.
Shoot me! I would have been like, nah, I ain't getting no $500 extra.
Trust me, I said that.
Yeah.
It's not like I was like, oh, you got me, guys. Take my money. Like I didn't do that.
Like,
They was like, yo,
what?
it doesn't matter. It's on camera. Like we did the count before you, we did the count after, and the money's gone. It's up. It was like, we're
word.
taking it out of your account or we're pursuing legal action for it. I was like, oh,
Pursue
what the
legal
hell?
action.
You're bugging.
Pursue legal action.
$500 to be treated like a person that got 200? Nah, I'm cool. Take your money.
They was gonna take that.
You're bugging. I didn't do nothing.
You're right. You didn't.
Yeah, but
Still
that's like your
complicit.
job paying you for some shit you didn't work. They taking it out your next check.
Yeah.
HR.
I had that.
He's like, go to HR?
My check fucking $330.
You never had your job print you double checks before?
Hell yeah.
I was about to say,
Yes.
Like I was gonna say, my job printed me a double check before. Like I took one to the bank and I took the other one to
another
package
bank.
store.
Right.
Package store. I don't ever want to see that. I just want the money. Like, hey, we charge about this percentage. Cool, take it. Just give me the rest.
It's mine. I don't know what's
You're not gonna see me depositing 2 checks into my bank. When y'all think y'all gave me a double check.
I've had money refunded, man. Like, oh. But this shit was paid. This money's still. Oh, this is mine. Gone.
And then they go back and still take it. And you don't call.
So you missed the month.
I'm calling as soon as I see it.
I be calling
So
back.
you missed the month of June. Now
Then
you
they'll send me some
paying
like
you.
extra shit. I'm like, yo, what the fuck did this come from?
It says y'all niggas took it out on this day and you deposit X shit. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with me.
Oh,
You did it.
Yeah, we're gonna just credit you and credit nothing. You give that shit back.
You owe them. I don't owe them.
Yo, you're gonna credit nothing. But that's not how we work. You gotta talk to your supervisor about this and figure this out. Hey, cause y'all took some shit that was already paid. It's mine. That's it. Then they realized months later that wasn't shit. I'm fucked, man.
You just gotta be the first one to talk legal business. That's it. As soon as you're the first one, they got it back down. Cause they ain't gonna think that you on your shit.
Yo.
You ain't got no
That sounds
experience.
very simple.
They got ball ass lawyers.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're gonna challenge the bank's lawyers? Have fun, dude.
Right. He said they got it back down because how he sounded.
They got him on speaker laughing like this kid.
CEO of Bank of America doesn't have the purse to pursue you.
Right. Man, give me 2 weeks out of work dealing with that argument. I'm like, man, I need my check, man. Y'all got it. I see. Like, you messing up my future money trying to act like this makes sense. Yes, art by KJ. Art by traditional spelling KAYJAY. IG, Twitter, it's all the same. The podcast is Shallow Depths. IG, you can look up Shallow Depths podcast on anything that you use it on. If you use it on Google, Spotify, fucking Apple. This guy.
I hate this nigga.
But then if it's IG, it's _ Shallow Depths.
Word. I don't get it. Because it's supposed to be below your fucking weight, dummy.
Oh, he said it was amazing.
Yeah, I'm still here.
I know, I hate trying to use. Until next time, yo, it's Inappropreality. We got this motherfucker.
Yeah.